I know I did something horrible and repulsive, and I broke up with my affair partner and told my husband everything when I was unable to bear the guilt any longer. Instead of being angry, he became more upset and dejected, and I urged him to stay married. He wasn't interested in the counseling, therapy, or even letting him have sex with other women that I suggested. As the best wife a man could ask for, I jumped at the chance to try to work things out when he stated he wanted to. I made his favorite meals, wrote him heartfelt notes, and got him new underwear to tempt him. His responses are, at most, middling. He thanks me and grins, but since I confessed, he has never expressed his love for me. Not that he complains, but he seldom ever takes the initiative, so I essentially have to push myself on. I believe I still lost the man I love, but we chat about it occasionally. He acts so fake around me, and nothing breaks through his facade. He always reacts to my playful, melancholic, furious, or seductive moods with this foolish smile and kind comments. It was before all of this that he was so genuine and heartfelt. Even if he despises me, I want him to be able to express his actual feelings to me. I still adore him a great deal. How do I make this right? TLDR, I betrayed my spouse. He is always nice to me and didn't get upset, but I feel like he's lost interest in me. Contextual remarks. Is this a post made by a troll? If not, kindly provide some information. What is the duration of your relationship and how long did the affair last? The other man is who? Colleague? OP, we've been together for 5 years. I had an affair with a client that lasted for a few months. Second comment, what do you mean by ending the relationship? Is this individual a current client? Do you need to communicate with him on business matters? You consult a therapist? What made you stray? Do you know? I gave the client's contract to a colleague and terminated our relationship. Never heard from again. I've been seeing a therapist on my own. My body felt like it was operating automatically, so I'm not sure why I did all of this. First update, 23rd of March 2024. He is aware that I cheated. We stayed together, and I pleaded with him to let me make things right and not get divorced. He acknowledged this, but he has essentially shown apathy ever since I came clean. I do my hardest to be the greatest wife he could ask for, as I mentioned in my previous post. Every night, I screw his brains out, buy him gifts, and cook his favorite things. All he does is thank me and smile. He never screams at me and acts nice. But beneath that polite exterior, I sense his cold disinterest. He started arriving home very late 2 weeks ago, and when he does, he just goes straight to bed. When I asked him what was going on, he responded in the most polite way imaginable. It's none of my concern. When I phone him when he's out, he just answers once. Woman's laughter could be heard in the background. I'm beginning to believe that he's betraying me again. Aches. I would try my hardest to swallow it if he told me. He refuses to inform me, but I deserve this after all. He just ignores me. A mutual friend informed me that she felt as like she had been stabbed in the heart when she saw him in a car with an unfamiliar woman. She claimed that although my husband's distinctive necktie choice allowed her to identify him, she was unable to precisely characterize her due to her large sunglasses. Although they were conversing, my friend noticed that they appeared to be holding hands or to be touching each other's laps, based on how they were positioned. I have no idea what to do. I need to know if he is having an affair, even though I deserve to know. I'm dying of uncertainty. Do I have to face him? Shall I make an effort to learn more? Revision 2, 26th of March 2024. He departed from me. I did what you guys suggested and pleaded with him to speak with me. I cried and yelled so badly that I puked all over even though he didn't want to. He softened around me. We spoke while he assisted me with cleaning. He stated he was chatting to someone, but hadn't done anything with her, when I questioned him if he was cheating on me. My friend saw him with a woman, so I inquired if that was her. After giving it some thought, he responded, "No, it was another woman that I met in my office a month ago." When I asked him how he could, he said that I had given him permission, and that all he did was talk to her about his problems with our situation. However, he pretended to be having an affair so that I would feel the same way he did, especially since he claimed that I had neglected him and made it clear that I was having an affair. I almost gave him a hard time when he mentioned that I was causing him pain. He thought this was worse because I didn't care at all, even after I told him I wasn't doing it on purpose. He claimed that everything I did after I came clean was pointless and only served to confirm his belief that I am a self-centered, egotistical, and disrespectful person. When I asked him if we could work on our marriage and me, he told me that, although we can have counseling to work things out, the marriage is finished. He claimed to have no malice towards me, and that he chose to end the act because he could no longer stand to watch the person he had once loved go through such suffering. But he added, "I am no longer that woman." I started crying again, and he hugged me. But when I tried to talk to him about it, he refused to listen. He told me he was moving out when I asked him what he was going to do. He has already relocated. I inquired whether he intended to live with that woman. I questioned him about how he could choose a complete stranger he met only a month ago over his 5-year wife. He claimed that his 5-year wife had vanished. That woman left a far stronger impression on him than the other stranger, and he has to choose between them. I told him he was an idiot for not realizing this woman would probably take advantage of and dump him. He became stern and declared, "She's definitely better than me." He promised to leave the house to me as long as I handled the divorce amicably, and that he won't tell our families that our marriage ended because I cheated, but rather because we grew apart. But he'll tell everyone what I did, and ruin my name if I try to drag it out, take him to the cleaners, or make any trouble. Almost everything has already been packed up by him since this happened yesterday. I can't believe this is happening, and I can't stop weeping. This is unjust and terrible. Revision. You guys are correct that I'm bad, but he's also had issues. He never intended to make this right. I want him back, to forget the damage we caused each other, and to forgive me for the months he used me before discarding me. I don't think his girl will be a good fit for him. Revision 3, April 11th, 2024. It seems like a bad dream. I keep telling myself that I will wake up and that this is not real. 2 weeks ago, my husband walked out supposedly to live with another lady, but I kept a close eye on him. Had some friends fill me in, and it didn't appear like there was another woman at all. I hoped that he was only gathering his thoughts and would get back to me, but today he did just that. I was served by him. I don't want to think that our relationship is over. I miss him every day, and I love him so much. Do I look like a jerk for taking off my bridesmaid dress during the reception? Published on January 24th, 2024. My sister-in-law, 23F, who appeared to be the ideal match for my brother, 23M, wed. She began preparing for the wedding as soon as they announced their engagement, which he proposed to her at Disney World. Everything was going smoothly. With her mother's $20,000, she made the decision to purchase the bridesmaid dresses in order to ensure that she could have her wish. Since I was the largest, she offered me the opportunity to try on the dresses before asking her 4 closest friends and me to be bridesmaids. She received 2 colors in the same pattern, and I really liked how well the lighter color suited. The darker shade was incredibly narrow and brief, hardly covering my downstairs space. I showed her that it was the largest size the dress comes in, proving that I couldn't wear it, even if I thought it had been mislabeled. After agreeing, she tucked the clothes aside. In the week leading up to the wedding, she chooses to utilize the dark color, and, presumably forgetting that it doesn't fit, pulls out the lighter color for every fitting. Her mother scheduled a second fitting for the black dress, and when I tried it on again, the seamstress and I both started to get scared. Despite losing 5 pounds, my breasts grew larger. The baby doll-style dress hung way above my hoo-ha. I'm 38H. The only thing we could modify was replace the straps to make them a few inches longer because the cloth didn't have any extra to let out seams. We stitched the dress's slip portion to the outer cloth and sealed the excessive puckering of the chest. Ultimately, she merely instructed me to wear shorts underneath it, because I informed my sister-in-law that there was nothing more she could do. She just advised me to deal with it, and that it couldn't be as awful as I imagined. She freaked out when I told her that I would much rather not attend the wedding. After she convinced her already present relatives, both direct and extended, to speak with me, I eventually decided to stay, as long as I could continue to wear my dress with shorts underneath. When we were getting ready on the day of the event, I put on my shorts to cover up my underwear. My sister-in-law became agitated and told me to stop being so emotional and that they shouldn't be under the dress. The other bridesmaids gave me a pitying look but said nothing, so I removed my shorts, held the hem up while walking, and kept the flowers low. The groomsmen who walked the aisle with me gripped my elbow rather than lacing arms so I could still grasp my hem and my bouquet. I hid in the background of all the pictures. With permission from the bride and groom from the previous day, I changed into a different outfit right away after the ceremony and pictures. It was the same color, without any frills, but longer. She began whispering to me that I was being overly theatrical, that I was spoiling her wedding, and that I should just go when she later saw me. Since I didn't have a car, I chose to avoid upsetting her any further by waiting outside the venue until the reception was over. She has a picture from the ceremony hanging on her wall now, but it has been heavily edited to remove me. She has been talking to me about her memories of the wedding lately, asking questions like, "Oh, do you remember the bridesmaid dresses? Oh, they looked so good," and other such things. I honestly can't tell if she's being cruel or if she simply can't recall. Despite the pressure from my family, I honestly don't know if I'm being dramatic or if I should have just said no to attending the wedding because I have autism and am not the best in social situations. During a night when my brother and I were all together, I told my parents and they all said I was being dramatic about how the whole thing was making me feel awful. It was her day. It's their home. They should quit whining about the past and be allowed to hang any artwork they like on the walls. I didn't believe I was moaning all that much because I hadn't brought it up since the wedding. However, perhaps I was. It's possible that I caused unnecessary stress to my sister-in-law's day. It's possible that she removed me from the picture using Photoshop because she simply wanted to forget what had happened. How should I proceed? First update, January 1st, 2024. I showed my parents, brother and sister my post and all of the comments as per the advice left on my previous post. According to my brother, my sister-in-law photoshopped me out of the wedding photo on their wall and threw me out of the reception because she is so embarrassed that she made me wear the outfit in the first place. Additionally, he said that she was apologizing to me by telling me the clothes looked nice. He begged me not to show the post to my sister-in-law because he knew how upset and ashamed she would be. She's genuinely trying not to believe anything happened at all, he said. My mother apologized, saying she was unaware of the majority of the events and that I was still furious about the clothing. She acknowledged that it was a horrible circumstance and that no one would have liked to see me walk down the aisle in that manner. She said she was sorry for telling me not to pick that fight, because she now understood that it was more than just a minor inconvenience. If she had known that sister-in-law was continuing to wear the unfitting dress with less than a day's notice, she would have taken action, and perhaps we could have changed the dress further. She must be quite angry that I posted it online for random people to read, and that she was unable to stop it from happening. Everybody calling my sister-in-law in a hole made my dad giggle. He found my post quite comical. He was particularly pleased that I mentioned him explaining the proverb, "Choose your battles," as he is rarely the one who does so. LOL, my brother and mom generally do that. I made him sound really good, said. I forwarded the letter to my cousin as well, who invited me to her wedding following my brother's, and she informed me that it made her angry all over again. She extended an invitation for me to move in with her for a bit, across the state from my brother and parents. I believe I will follow through. I haven't showed my sister-in-law the post. I'm a little worried that this has exacerbated the situation. For example, my family may argue over it, and I would be the one to blame. Perhaps I ought to have adopted the passive-aggressive approach that some folks recommended. I apologize if there is more positive news. Second update, 12th of February 2024. I've received numerous requests to update, so here it is. I swear, my mother is not the bad guy in this tale. It was her who persuaded the sister-in-law to consent to the gowns being changed and the shorts. She was unaware that I had been digitally erased from the image. My sister-in-law and brother have it hanging in their home, but she had never given it that much attention. She is the one who has consistently spoken up for me in front of physicians, educators, relatives, and other people. I don't think I gave the situation the proper gravity, even after I brought it up the first time. I think she was simply really stressed out and didn't understand a lot of things was going on. She only found out recently that I'm not a liar. Because of my undiagnosed autism, which prevented me from fully understanding things and from taking questions literally, I was recognized as a liar when I was younger. Apparently, she never really looked at the photo, so when I brought it up earlier, she believed I was lying. She's quite upset now that she's looked. Well, here's the real update. A lot has happened, and I'm writing this from my new room at my cousin's house. I want to start by saying thank you for all of your support. It appears like a lot of people liked and upvoted my last update. I made the decision to partially heed the advice provided in the comments on my initial update, but I do want to someday mend my connection with my brother while hopefully still respecting his intentions. Rather of displaying my posts to my sister-in-law, I went straight to her. I questioned her why she had removed me from the photo and told her how it made me feel both during and after the incident. She said that even though she had already apologized to me following the wedding, it was inappropriate of me to bring it up again. When I informed her I had no memory of it, she said, "Well, I said I was sorry, and if you don't remember it, that's not my fault." When I questioned about the picture, she explained that she had taken me out since she didn't think any of the pictures showed me in a way that would have made me pleased. When I arrived at my cousin's house the following day and explained what had happened, she became quite irate and went upstairs to calm down. I tried to cut off communication with my family, so I didn't know about this next phase until a few days ago. On my sister-in-law's social media accounts, my cousin shared both of my postings, introducing everyone to her as the sister-in-law and explaining that I had to relocate due to her. Her supervisor read the remarks in addition to all of her friends and relatives. Her employer dismissed her because they didn't want someone who harassed disabled individuals at work, especially if they worked with children. My family witnessed it as well, and it seems that she has been receiving so much abuse from people that she erased her accounts and now sobs every day. My brother has been phoning my phone non-stop and left messages claiming that I would cause her to lose the baby because of the stress I have caused her. She is also pregnant. Additionally, I've had calls and texts from people, most of them offering their support, but some also stating that I fired her and that it wasn't worth the backlash to tell everyone what she did. Although some people have said that I don't stand up for myself enough. My cousin claims she got what she deserved, and I can't help but feel awful for her. I merely wanted an apology. I didn't want her fired. It's odd how my brother seems to care for his wife and not his sister at all. Furthermore, how difficult is it to own up to mistakes rather than making more of them? If it was an error and not intentional, you would think it would be easy to say sorry in a brief manner. I'm appreciative of my cousin's support and advocacy. I need someone on my side. How do you interpret this? Tell me in the comments section below, please. Thank you for coming today. Please subscribe to our channel to make sure your next chef stays faithful. Await the following story with interest. When you consider what's to come, it's nothing. But I strongly warn, avoiding listening to the next story if you're younger than 18.